Should be live. Hope it's picked it up. Yes, it has. Beautiful. Beautiful indeed. Hello. Hello to everyone. Hello, Barry. I will do this. Tier 2. No point putting in Tier 2 because they've redone the tiers. So it will go into here. Yes, but it's also a stream that people will watch afterwards, so, you know. And also there's 5 of us now, not just you, Perry. So, you know. I always say everyone, because there's people watching it afterwards, and, you know, makes sense to just appeal. I'm sorry. That's one way to start. It's definitely one way to start. Just putting it into Discord 1 second. How do I feel about being back in Tier 2 next season? I have effectively written the season off already. I'm not going to lie to you. I am fully content with the fact with the knowing of the fact that I will be in Tier 3 for 17. I've already made peace with that fact, so I'm very much in the camp of just letting this season play out however it plays out. I have quite literally zero expectation, which might be the first time I've ever had zero expectation going into a season. Weird. It feels weird. There's no pressure. So, hopefully, fingers crossed I don't absolutely bolt this up. But yeah. That's incredible. Someone from Tier 6 had daylight staying at 5:14 in the morning Eastern Time. Damn. Ross is just trying to fool everyone into a BRZ. I don't think that is actually going to work. Yeah, I don't think that's going to work as well as you think that's going to work. It definitely will probably be a good choice round 1, but that's about it. I mean, admittedly, this calendar is not a straight line calendar in any way, shape, or form. Kyoto's tire wear, fucking Seaside is just how well can you keep your tires together, and how well can you keep the car together moreover. Trout Mountain is very much straight line speed. Supra is probably going to win that if it's in the tier. So look, go back through this next season's calendar. Laguna is definitely not straight line. Laguna is turning, and I'm gonna love Laguna. Yeah, it's Trail Mountain and Monza that are straight line speed tracks around on this calendar. Interlagos and Deep Forest have a gigantic straight, but I don't call them straight line speed tracks. So yeah, it's 2 straight line speed predominant, 2 50/50s, and the rest are turning. Kyoto, Dragon Trail, Laguna, Catalunya, all very much cornering based tracks rather than speed. Also, we have the new system where you have to use 2 different compounds of tires now. That's been reinstated, so everything's gonna get a little bit more interesting as we go along, I think. Which is also why I was trying to get my teammate to pump the brakes a little bit on his car choices. We have to very much figure things out first before do some testing before we get anything going. But yeah, I'm doing the final race of the last season. Thought it would be a little bit it would be a nice something to get everyone kind of just pumped up for next season, for the start of the new season. But yeah, alright, that's enough talking, I think. Let's get ready to go through the final race of the season here in Tier 2. Both titles are already clutched up. Those are not changing hands in this race. Dens has already won the Tier 2 drivers, and the Lexus drivers have already won the Tier 2 constructors titles. So we're not doing this to decide a title or anything like that. This is just purely going to be who can drive the best for the final race of the season. I see Carter again in the Ford on pole position, which is an absolute... that's just a crazy thing to do around Interlagos in the Ford GT. Then you've got Higsy in second, the McLaren. Asseldor in third, Wack in fourth, Faxon fifth, Kellen sixth, Icy seventh, Fancy eighth, Tap ninth, Sam 10th, Dens 11th, Turboy 12th, Ross 13th, and Chris at the back. And 4 red lights already. It's turned into 5 red lights. It's lights out, away we go. Let's see who's got the better start. Turns out that is going to be the Renault. That is going to definitely be the Renault as we go down towards turn 1, and it looks like Castledor has already hit the front. That's an exceptional start as Carter goes a little bit deep into turn 2. Someone's already off the track in the Audi in the background. As we continue through, and Carter's dropped to third. Higgsy's got a good start as well, got away up in the second, but Asseldor has well and truly got the jump. Did not take long in the slightest. Here comes Wack, trying to go around the outside of Carter. Isn't going to be able to have it here into turn 4 here in Brazil. You got Kellen up in the 5th. He had a good start as well in the FT1. Icy in 6th, trying to hang on to the back. Then you've got a couple of guys at the back here. You've got Tap and Sam going side by side up the hill now into turn 6. And Tap's going to hold on for that. Chris is up from 14th to 9th. Den's up from 11th to 10th. Ross in 11th now himself. Chris going a little bit deep there. And then you've got, I think that's Turbo, Fancy, and our Faxon dropping from 5th to the back. Asseldor has had a cruise control of a start here and is in handsomely in the lead to start with. At the end of 1 here. There we go, we're down into the, into the first, last straight on the first lap. And see if there's anything to happen here in the last couple of corners of lap 1 of 10. Shouldn't really be too much issues driving here for any of the cars. The tyre wear shouldn't die too much either. Here comes Kellen and Icy trying to make a look into turn 1. Doesn't really work out. Wacker's now having to defend from the FT1 in 5th, who just had a bit of a slide coming out of turn 2. That might open the door for Icy. The Belgian's going to go after the Irishman here. Can he get him down into turn 4? Will the slipstream be a little bit too much? Kellen Also going for fourth himself down the inside. Gets it. Pretty well done there against Whack. On the inside, up in the fourth goes the Irishman. There we go. Whack's gone a bit wide. Whack's gone very wide, and Icy will take that place. Even if it's for a split second, Whack is wide again. Icy's still ahead for now. He's going to go deep himself. That's not how you do it. I don't think that's how you do it either, Higgsy. He's gotten a lot of the grass there in the middle sector, but somehow still holds on to second himself. Whack is still against Icy, and Icy has finally won that battle. Icy up into fifth. The Belgian, again, as we said, every week so far in Tier 2 has been improving week by week. See how he does next season. He's staying in Tier 2, so he should be toward the front. So you got Tap in 7th, Sam in 8th, Chris in 9th, Dend in 10th, Ross in 11th, Turbo in 12th, Fanslot 13th, and our back to 14th, so nothing really changed to the back either. Everything is about as they were. Carter and Higgsy. Higgsy at the inside line in a 1, so that'll keep him in front of Carter for now, but Carter's going after him. Hammer and tongs right now. Kellen also dropped behind Icy, so let's have a very quick rewind to see what happened there. See what happened, because Carter went after Higgsy there. Higgsy had the inside line, got him. Icy down the inside, a little bit of contact, but it didn't look like it affected Kellen at all. That just looked like a good move to stick it up the inside, even if it was late. Icy is pulling to the side. Is he just trying to get out the slipstream? He is. No, he's gonna let Kellen back by. Okay, so you feel like he's made contact on the way through, and he's held his position on Whack as well. So he's given that back. Oh, that did not look good. He's a bit too deep, and he won't be holding it on Whack for much longer. There goes through the Mazda, and Icy's got a second penalty for boot. And that is calamitous 30 seconds there for Icy as Tap goes by, and Tap pushes his way through. Sam's going to go on as well. Sam might be going after Tap at the same time. Icy has just had a nightmarish 30 seconds on this lap. Should not have given that position back. I don't think he ever actually would need to give it back either. It didn't look too dirty of a move. But yeah. Yeah, I admittedly myself, I wouldn't have given that back. That did not look like there was enough contact as Chris is off in the background. Chris has hit the barricade on the way back in as well. And yeah, I was about to say, you're getting a penalty for that. Only lost a position out of it though. Only one for now anyway. Icy obviously served his penalty on the lap here. And Ross will go by. Ross up in the 9th. Icy dropped to 10th. Horrible lap there as a whole. Let's see, where we're going further up. Whack is still behind Kellen. The front three are still as they were after lap 1. Carter's been pushing Higgsy the entire way through this race so far, through the 3 laps we currently have had. Dude's just having thingers in one of my chats. Alright, let's have a look. Maybe it does. You might be right, Altador. Maybe it does, but yeah, I was about to say, on stream here, it didn't look like there was any reason to give it back. Tap in 6th, Sam in 7th, Dens in 8th. We've got people going at each other left, right, and centre here. Icy round the outside of Ross, and that is a good move if he can make that stick. And he has. Well played by Icy to get that position back. They head up the hill again here on lap 4. Almost halfway through the sprint race here. Let's see if there's going to be anything that happen at the end of this lap. Doesn't look like it. Maybe Den's going, maybe Icy and Den's going after each other. Icy to the outside. If we can have a good camera angle of this, might be able to get Dens into turn 2. Will get Dens into turn 2. Icy again with a nice little move. Icy has been absolutely electric in turn 1 so far in this race. He had his moment of madness earlier on, but it seems to be getting back down and knuckled in straight away. As he got a little bit too deep there again. Needs to be careful to avoid the penalty that he got on the lap a couple laps ago. And Icy now overtaken by Dens after the mistake in turn 4. Continue on here, Icy looking to the outside. Icy again, he's trying it, he's looking at every opportunity, he smells blood in the water when it comes to Dens, but he isn't going to get it here. And he's now got Ross right on the back of him. Went around the outside of Ross this time last lap. Ross not going to get anything in return on this lap. Ross is just about ahead of Turbo Boy at the moment. The fancy locks and are factored ahead of Chris, who's now in 14th. Can I have a good camera angle, please, game? Nothing really unfolding up the hill, apart from I think our Faxon just got Sam on the way through. Yes, he did. And our Faxon might be looking at a go on Turbo Boy here to the outside. Goes the Lexus. Can he get it done? No, he cannot. Turbo Boy will hang on for a little while longer. Head down up the grid. There's a penalty at some point here for... It's not Sam, sorry, it's Fancy Locks. Our Faxon got by. That's my bad. Sam's currently in 7th, doing a lot better than usual. Tapping in 6th, and Whackers, I don't know why or how you got that penalty, but he's 3.5 seconds. So he's just going to drop all the way back at this point. He's going to drop at least 2 positions, realistically, at the end of the lap with this penalty. Let's see, continue on. You've got Kellen in 4th. He seems to be in a little bit no man's land right now. The front 3 very much in front of him. And, well, he's about to gain a little bit of ground the rest of the pack here when Wack has to serve his 3.5 seconds in a moment in time here. The real question is, how far is that 3.5 seconds going to drop Wack? He's definitely going behind Tap, that is for certain. Here comes the penalty line as we head up the hill. He serves the penalty now. Is he going to be overtaken by Sam? Yes, he is. Dens as well. If he gets up to speed now, he's probably going to get overtaken by Icy for good measure. He will get overtaken by Icy for good measure. Is his teammate going to get him? Ross goes to the outside. Does get his teammate. So Ross up in the 9th. Will Wack hold on against our Faxon, who's got past Turbo Boy in the last lap? Yes, he will. So Wack drops from 5th to 10th off a 3.5 second penalty. That is not a good place for him to be. Also, Fancy Locks and Chris at the back of the grid at the moment. Then you've got Sam and Dens right now going at it for 6th place. Dens left Icy just a little bit in the background for now. Dens looking to the inside, gets Sam to make a mistake and gets 6th place rather easily. Some might say a bit too easily there. In turn 5. Now he's the next one up against the Supra. You know, both the Mazdas in 9th and 10th. Kellen has not quite a significant advantage over 5th anymore. It is enough at the moment, but you can see the bigger gap comes from him to 3rd. The top 3 are well and truly gone. The real question is, in which order will they finish? Right now, Asador hasn't really been challenged at the front of this grid. I don't think he might. Honestly, that Renault should be perfectly fine around here. He shouldn't really get challenged all the way back to the line here. So, head down the line further back. Icy's going after Sam, looking for another turn 1 move, going for the hat trick. Can he get it? No, he cannot. Won't get past Sam at turn 1 in this lap, on lap 8 of 10 here. Looked for the hat trick, did not get the hat trick. I have to wait a little while longer to try and get the move on Sam. Sam again against, well, Icy also has Ross to contend with at the moment as well. Ross having an interesting day, that's for certain. Hello. Welcome to the chat. And here we go. Sam defending on lap 8 from Icy at basically every single turning. We've got 5 or 6 cars right beside each other. Looks like our Factor and Turbo Boy are going at it at the back of this pack. We're going to keep an eye out on this pack though, because here comes Icy looking to the outside. And Sam's tyres don't look too good. The Icy do look significantly better. And again, Ross has looked significantly better than Icy. So, yeah, we might have a bit of an interesting one down towards the end. But Icy's not even going to wait. Here comes Icy past Sam up into 7th. Icy just driving out of his mind right now. Try and make a return on his mistake earlier on as we head down into turn 1 to defend now from the Supra. And defend it extremely well. Sam is going to have to try and hang on now because he is losing tyres compared to the rest of the drivers around him. And he's kind of losing ground now as well. Sam's gone deep again as Ross is going to go by. So Sam loses another place there in the Supra. He's lucky to avoid a penalty for good measure. Whack, unfortunately, not so lucky. We'll take a 2-second. Sam might not be lucky to get away with that one. Let's see if he does. It looks like he will down into turn 6. He's going to get away with a bit deep of a turn through exit of 4. As we continue on, our Factor looking to the outside. We'll get the position on Whack regardless, even if he has to wait till the end of the lap. Chris is involved now as well. Turbo Boy in 11th. The Whack will drop to the back of this group. Phantom Ops there at the back of the entire race. We're on lap 9 at the moment. Mid-pack seems to be where everything is coming in. It's going further forward. Everyone just seems to be as they were. Icy, then Ross. They start to build a bit of a gap to the Super, who's obviously got tyre issues at this point in time. Whack is going to drop to all the way to the back. All the way to the back is the Mazda now. Not a good day for the Mazdas here whatsoever. 8th and last as Icy is going to have to defend from Ross potentially here. It doesn't actually have to do an awful lot. Kellen, Tap and Den's fighting for 4th right now. The top 3 are going our way. Then you've got this pack of 3 and then the rest of the grid seemingly close enough to each other to try and force an issue here. We're in turn 4. Den's is still the back of the 3 here. Tap is just having to do enough to move away from the Genesis. It doesn't look like an awful lot is going to happen into 6. And yeah, Kellen's going to hang on from Tap. And Denz might look to the inside. It looked like Denz might have gone for it there, but that door was shut very quickly on the tier 2 champion elect here in tier 2. Continue on. Let's have a look. They go up the hill. So we're going to go to the front of the grid here. Asador from Higsy from Carter. Carter just dropped off the back here a little bit. Looks like Higsy had the best tyre of the 3, but Asador, quite frankly, never looked phased in this one. And he comes to the line and he wins the final sprint race of the season in the Renault. Brilliant race there for Asador. Higsy gets 2nd, Carter gets 3rd, Kellen will survive, gets 4th, Tap will get 5th, Dent will get 6th, Icy will survive enough to get 7th, Ross will get 8th, Faxed 9th, Turbo Boy in 10th will start reverse grid pole, Chris in 11th, Fancy Locks 12th, Whack in 13th, and Sam, with his tyres in the end, ending at the back of the grid. That is unfortunate for him. He had an incredible race for like 8 laps and then faltered drastically at the end. Rather unfortunate there for Sam. We're just gonna load up the feature race real quick here. But that makes sense as to why I got a message yesterday from Asador asking if I was going to do Brazil comms. Makes sense now. What did you miss? Did you win sprint now? But yeah, we've got another race to go. The final race of the entire season for season 15 before everyone inevitably starts testing for 16. We're gonna very quickly just set everything up. And then I'm gonna take a very quick look through Discord to see if I have missed anything before we get underway for 26 laps of Brazil. Yeah, just making sure that I've got everything. Alright. Turned out I did. I have something to deal with in Tier 3 after this. You wanted me to hear me do the comms on your flawless sprint. Yeah, I know. I had a funny feeling there was a reason why you were asking. But yeah, alright, so Turbo starts on reverse grid pole on the medium tyres. I can imagine that everyone is on the medium tyres here, and they'll probably do medium, which won't be allowed in season 16. Season 16, you have to do 2 different tyres compounds, so I feel like a hard might be potentially used, or we'll see a lot of medium, soft. One of the two will be the case. But yeah, alright. You got Turbo Boy in first, Faxid in second, Ross in third. Everyone will be on the medium tyres here. Icy in fourth, Dent in fifth, Tap in sixth, Kellen in seventh, Carter in the 4GT in eighth, Higgsy in ninth, Asodor in 10th after winning the sprint, Chris in 11th, Fancy Locked in 12th, Whack in 13th, and Sam in 14th. Oh, Sam's on hards. Ew. Someone might want to rein in his strategy sometime soon. But yeah, I am really looking forward to see how Carter does in Tier 1, honestly. Carter looking pretty good in a car that not many people are assumed to be quick. I am very looking forward to see what he can do. Obviously, Dens will be promoted to Tier 1 as the reigning champion. So, this Tier 2 has some names that it can live up to next season, potentially. But yeah, we'll get started in 1 minute here. Alright. Let's get going. I've done too much on Discord. Let's get going. As the music gets a lot louder. Alright, and we're off. Here we go for 26 laps. Around Interlagos for the final time in season 15. Turbo Boy will lead us into turn 1. He won't be under any fire from our factions yet. It turned out not to be the greatest of turn 1s or turn 2s for good measure for Turbo, who needs to get something rolling into season 16. Ross is trying to get himself involved in the front three for now. Icy, and then Denz is in 5th, Tap in 6th, Kellen in 7th. Then you got Carter already looking to make a way through. Doesn't get to do it here into turn 4, sorry. Not like anyone's done anything into the first 5 or 6 turns of this race. Everyone just jockeying for position here on lap 1 of 26 on the medium tyres. Sam on the hard tyres are going to have a really, really rough time. That's for certain. Icy a little bit out of sorts there in the middle sector. Then into 4th already. Icy dropping down a place. Icy always likes a wide line there into the beginning, into the end of the 2nd sector, and he almost got picked off there from Tap behind. We head up the hill, just everyone and anyone fighting for positions at the moment, as everyone is within a second of each other. Icy is now cleared Tap by quite some distance and is going after Denz up the hill into the final part of the first lap. Icy will have a run. Can he get an even better run into turn 1? We've seen he's been electric here all day. And he's going for another, but he's too deep. He's too deep. It might be the first mistake we've seen on an overtake from Icy all day, actually. He obviously had the issue with the wide corner in the sprint that kind of tumbled his sprint away. It wasn't on an overtake, so it was the first unforced error I think I've seen all day from Icy. So yeah, he's going to get a penalty for a good measure. Tap behind, then you've got Kellen in 7th, and then everybody and anybody fighting out back here. Higsy up in 8th, Carter in 9th right now, Asador in 10th. And then you got Fancy Locked in 11th in that Audi having a nice time. Then you got Chris and Wack also going at each other. Head down the hill here into sector 2. Fancy Locks ahead of Chris and Wack, and then Sam at the back. Are Factored in the lead from Turbo Boy. Factored had a semi-decent lead as well. Turbo Boy just not being able to get anything going in the M6. Ross, Dendon and Icy, who will serve his 2nd penalty. I'll drop him at the very least behind Kellen. There you go. He takes the 2-position drop off his 1-second penalty. Higsy the next one in line, which is not good news when you realise those are the three guys who were fighting at the front, very much clear of everyone else in the sprint. Here goes Higsy. Up into 7th. Can he go for it? Yes, he will. And Carter! Oh, that was a bit aggressive, Carter. No reason to for that one. Everyone's, what on earth am I watching here? Carter gets hit. Well, Carter hits Icy on the way through. Tries to get out the way to get out. Oh, Icy comes back across. The rejoins on safely. Oh, Chris has span. And then he's hit Icy on the way through. And Chris is somehow saved and Icy's in the wall. What on earth just happened there? And I'm not too surprised Carter has elected to wait, and that is a fair decision. That one, absolutely give back. Chris is in 12th, Fancy Locked ahead of Sam in 10th and 11th right now. Wack is up in the 9th, taking advantage of everyone else's carnage back here. Higsy in 7th, Kellen in 6th, Tap in 5th, Dan's in 4th. And then you got Ross in 3rd. Dan's is going after Ross at this point in time. Then our Turbo Boy in 2nd, and our Factored had a decent sized lead at the front of the grid. Alright. Doesn't look like Dan's was able to make anything happen. It's actually going to get brought back to Tap here at the end of lap 3. I would expect that most of these pit stops are going to work probably at halfway distance. It's probably going to be 13 medium tyres on both stints here. It is the final time that will be allowed, especially for the upcoming season. 132.5 there for Tap on the medium tyres. Not a bad lap in the slightest. 132.1 is currently the fastest overall. As done by our Factored at the front of the grid. Alright, Tap doing enough to hold back Kellen, with Higsy in 7th right now. Hasseldor in 8th, Wack in 9th, Sam in 10th. Fancy Locks must have had a bit of an issue of his own doing. You forgot to do strategy testing in Winter's trusting Dens. That's probably a fair thing to do. Wack is a half-second time penalty, so he's going to be in trouble here with Sam and Chris by the end of the lap. We'll see whether or not he gets dropped behind him. Oh, that's a spinning McLaren. I'm not entirely sure how he's managed that. Let's have a look. Oh, that's how. That's how. Too much grass. Way too much grass, and his medium tires could not handle that by any means. And he's going to get reset. Yep. Wow. So Icy's going to get by Higsy all the way toward the back now, down in 12th after that spin. Wack's going to get a penalty. He will still have Sam and Chris to contend with. The real question is, how much is he going to lose here? At the half-second time penalty, he has one of the fastest cars in the game in a straight line behind him. Super should get him rather easily here as they head down the straight. The Super will get him rather easily as they head down the straight. And can probably protect him against the Lambo though, the slipstream. Actually, no, the slipstream is being given to the Lambo, so Wack might be under fire here, and he absolutely is as Chris goes up into 9th. Wack is currently now in 10th. So we've got first and then the following 5 or 6 cars, and then the rest of the grid is just starting to break off the back here. Carter and Higsy going at it. We saw these two go at it left, right and centre through the sprint. Carter wasn't able to win that one. Higsy ended up ending 2nd in the race and winning the battle between these two. This time out, it looked like Carter had the upper hand, and as soon as I say that, he slid his car, but he held it. He held it exceptionally well and will hold the position on Higsy for a good measure. Chris round the outside of Sam, still on the outside. Sam with a little bit of contact, and Chris has to go off the track, and Sam will just let him by. And Chris will slide his car for good measure. So Chris is up in 8th, Sam in 9th. He's going to be attacked by Wack now around the outside. Wack is going to have a good run. Wack is going to get a position off of him. And Sam is going to drop to 11th here, because here comes Icy as well to the inside. Icy to the inside here, gets it done. And then Sam just has like 1 kilometer's corner, and it cost him 3 positions as a result. So go back towards the front. Tap is going after Dens, who's going after Ross, who's trying their best to get after Turbo, who's just the bottleneck in the race to the race here. Factor just clearing off into the distance. Dens looking to the inside of Ross, to the inside of 4. Can he do it? Will he be able to? No, he won't. Ross has got too much in front, and Dens backed out. Faxid in the lead. These 4 or 5 cars right behind him, all fighting it out. As we head down the hill here into Sector 2. Still a 5-car battle with Hasseldor approaching. Field very, very much split into 2 right now. On lap 6 of 26 here. Let's see if anything is going to happen up the straight. The BMW versus the Mazda versus the Gen X as they head up the hill. Ross to the outside. Is he going to do it? Round the outside, got a chance. A glorious opportunity. Kellen's also got a chance in the backfield there, and Ross is going to make his one count. Will Kellen make his? Kellen will not make his count. So one did, one didn't. And funny enough, they are both going after BMWs, and the bottleneck is seemingly broken now because Ross is starting to drive away as they head to turn 4. Dens is the next one in. Can he get himself in front of Turbo Boy, or will Ross be able to get some sort of advantage here? Dens to the inside of 5. He's still there. He's actually in front of Turbo Boy now. very slightly, and Turbo ducks inside as they head to 6. And it looks like the bottleneck has now been broken. As we head into the end of the second set here on lap 7, it looked like Ross will stay in second for now. Dended in third, Turbo in fourth, Tap in fifth, Kellen in sixth. Assador is trying his absolute best to get himself tacked on to the back of this group. Needs to do it before everyone starts pulling away. No, it will happen sooner rather than later now that everything is broken open. Arfax is still a very comfortable lead. Tap gets himself in front of Turbo as Turbo Boy is just heading further and further toward the back, dropping like a lead stone. Well, lead balloon even. Probably the actual saying. Definitely, don't mind me. It's still way too early for me to be functioning properly. There we go. Team orders, yeah, fair enough. Kellen in 6, trying to get his way through now. And he will look for it in 5. He's gone to the inside of turn 5 and he got him. And Turbo Boy's going to have to cede another position. And from 2nd to 6th in a lap. He might be not done yet, because here comes Assador. We definitely have a split front 7, back 7 at the moment. Further back, you've got Chris and Icy, and Carter is still in 10th. Then you've got Sam in 11th, Higgsy in 12th. And then Fancy Lock's in 13th, and Whack at the back of the grid. It is still a significant lead, however, for our Faxid in this race, as we're almost a third of the way through this one now. And that gap is not shrinking. We'll see if there's anything that Ross can do, or Dens for that matter, can do to try and close this gap on our Faxid, because right now our Faxid is in Greenland. He can't get a better race than the one he's currently having. This is about as good as it gets through what will be the first 9 laps, if he can hold on. Let's see, is there going to be anything here between Dens and Ross? It doesn't look like it. Oh, it's almost dropping the car there. In Sector 2, that might just give Dens an opportunity at the end of the lap here. Especially if he can get himself closer. The Mazda having to brake a lot earlier than any other car. Bear in mind, it's a champion-elect there in 3rd place right now. Looking to end this on, end this on a high. I don't know how much of a high it will be, more than winning the championship, but it's apparently a better, a good end to this race would probably add to it. Heading to turn 1, then they're still hanging on to the back of Ross, but not really forcing any sort of issue. They're still not really closing in on our Faxid by any significant margin. Actually, 7/10 the other way on the last lap. Our Faxid opening up his gap. Our Faxid, 32.6, quicker than anything Ross has managed at all the entire race up to this point. Then they've done a 32.4. Let's see. Have a quick look at the tyres while we're at it. Looks like Dens has got better rears compared to Ross. Ross has got slightly better fronts. Den's doing a pretty good job on his tyres in the Genesis, that's for certain. Tap in a better position than Den, sorry, as he is currently in fourth. So the tyres will suit Tap for now. Kellen there further back is... Oh, Kellen's tyres look disgusting. Oh, he's going to have some trouble sooner rather than later. Turboy in 6th, Asador in 7th, and Asador has got himself onto the back of the group here. Turboy has been heading backwards since the start. He might be going for one more. Here comes Asador on the outside. Is he going to get the move done? No, he is not. The sky blue Renault not getting the move done there. We head down toward turn 4 now. Again, maybe just a bit too far back to make anything stick. And that is going to be the case. Looking for a switch back in the 5. He's got somewhat alongside now, but not going to make the move done. Not going to get the move done by the time they end in 6, and has to just drop back in behind the BMW. Also, if you're Kellen, you won't be too disappointed by that either, because Kellen's tyres are an absolute mess right now. Icy's got a second penalty. Carter's not that far behind now. Carter's going to close him in, probably get him on that second penalty. Actually, definitely going to get him on that second penalty. So Carter will start making his way forward now as well. They got to just try and focus on getting to the front of the grid. Chris doing exactly that, trying to get himself onto the front 7. Ross and Dend are still going at it. Our facts is 33.3 on the last lap. His tyres not looking so good. But he is still matching Ross's time. Den's gaining a tenth of a second. For the first time in this race, Ross has actually managed to tie our facts' time, so it isn't growing at the front. It doesn't look like Dender's going to be able to get anything against Ross as we head towards the end of the first sector. Beginning of the second sector even. Yeah, Ross is not going to give this up against Dender, I don't think. Not now anyway. We're on lap 12, so we have definitely now entered the pit window if people want to go for an aggressive strategy. Not sure how wide the 12-14 would be. It's going to be really close as people decide to go for it. Our Faxid, the first one heading towards the line, is going for a 30 flat. He shouldn't have too many issues with it either. 33.2. So he went quicker on his prior lap by a tenth of a second. What is Ross doing? Ross is staying out. And Dens and Tapper going in. 33.5 for Ross. So another 3/10 of an extension at the front of the grid here for our Faxid, who is in cruise control. But Dens and Tap going for a bit of an undercut here. Tap's got a lot more fuel, and Tap has also got slightly better tyres as well for good measure. Kellen in 3rd, Altador in 4th right now. Turboy in 5th and Chris in 6th. Chris has gone a bit wide there on the back. His tyres at the back of the car starting to fall away just a little bit. He takes 2 seconds for good measure. Icy's still on the track. Sam as well. Dens and Carter, well, Tap. Dens. Tap's jumped Dens in the pit. That's exceptional work there from Tap in the strategy to get Dens in the pit lane. You've got Carter, Higgsy and Fancy Locked all going as well. You cut the pit lane. You dumbass. Well, it was good. It was an exceptional undercut for all of about 2 seconds. I mean, you tried. That's about as much as I can say for that. He's going to get... Tap is almost certainly giving that place almost straight back at the end of this lap then. No questions asked. So we're going to the end of this one. Oh, that did not look good. I'm not entirely sure what happened there, but I want to go back and take a look. Kellen didn't have the greatest of corners. Kellen's not having the greatest of laps. Oh, he did 3.5 seconds. That did not look... That looked aggressive. I'm not entirely sure where you get 3.5 seconds from, but... I'm guessing pit lane is all for all of them. Yep, they're all just starting to head in. 3.5 seconds here for Kellen. Chris coming in, Icy coming in, Sam's going to come in now as well. Oh no, Sam's staying out. He's on the hard tyres, correct, yeah. So Sam's staying out. Whack is going to be coming in. I would be very surprised if he's not. So Sam will take the lead of the race for now. Tap will have a 3-second time penalty to serve, and there goes Dens. And the attempt at an undercut would have worked had Tap not cut the pit lane. Carter and Higsy coming up the hill now. Out of curiosity, where is everyone coming out? It looks like our Faxid is still comfortably in the lead. Our Faxid should win this race from here. Coming out the pits, Ross and Asseldor. Is the Asseldor going to jump him? Nope. Ross is in third, Den's in fourth, and the undercut did not work. Ross has held on, so Dens is going to be staring at the back of the Mazda for a little while longer. Asseldor using the, I guess, the slight overcut on people like Dens and Tap to pretty much perfection. He's got out in fifth. You got Kellen in sixth, who's got 3.5 off of his penalty at the end of the last lap, and Tap, who just served a 3-second time penalty for cutting the pit lane. Kellen's going to drop a few positions here, back behind both the M6s for certain. Let's see. Kellen going into the pit lane. Well, going into the penalty zone now. Sorry, not the pit lane. Penalty zone. He's going to drop now. At the very least, behind both the M6s. Is there anyone else coming up in the background? Kellen getting going again now. Will Chris go by? Yeah, Chris has got far more speed. Chris will go by here. Is there anyone else? Carter's the next man up. He is not even close. So Kellen will come out of his penalty in ninth. We have a three-way fight for the serve for what would be net P2 with Sam currently in the lead of this race, albeit I'm not entirely sure how much longer that's going to last. I think Sam is just ahead of his time with his hard mediums here. Or hard soft, they potentially might be going for actually. Right, Ross still ahead of Dens, ahead of Asseldor here, third, fourth and fifth on track. Then you've got a little battle behind the two M6s. They won't be doing anything to each other, they're just going to be trying to drag each other towards the front. Then you've got Chris and Kellen and then Carter. And Carter's the one I'm interested in here, because Carter's the one, realistically, it should be more towards the front than he is. We saw the incident he had with Icy earlier on. So I would have expected him to start making his way back through the grid by now. He certainly had the pace to do it. Hasn't had the fortune at this point in time. Sam is in the pits. Our Factor is going to jump him by quite a way. So will Ross and company. And it's the case of whereabouts will he actually come out. I'm going to guess about 11th. My guess might be wrong here. He might be coming out well to the back actually here, Sam. Wait and see. Our Factored in first, still handsomely in the lead. Another 2 tenths broker to Ross in second. There is no stopping our Factored in this race. This has been as cruise control as it could possibly have been from our factor. And I think at this point a spin would probably not even cost him the win. He's got, what, easily a double-digit lead on Ross right now? And every single time we go to him, he's increasing it. It's about as dominant drives get. Alright. Our factor 32.4. What's going to be for Ross? 32.48. Again, it's literally 1,000th of a second between Ross and our factor's time there. So that's basically identical laps between the two. Den's 32.5. 32.5 for Asadov for good measure. So the front four lapping relatively similarly in this race. Which is, if you are factored, that is about as good of a sign as you could possibly get. You're not putting a foot wrong, they're not catching you up. So it is realistically our factors to lose from here on out. Asadov looking to the outside of Dan's here. Can he get it done? A little bit of a wide line. Looked like he would have had a better exit if the car in front of him wasn't just directly right there. And all these three can do is just hold each other up at the moment. Tap and Turbo are on their way, with Chris in the background there as well, and also Kellen, and I think that's Carter for good measure. They are, and we're just starting to form a second pack of 5 here, with their eyes set towards the front. The real question is this set of 5 set is just a little too late. We've got 8 laps to go. Let's have a look at the state of the lead here. It's 32.9, 32.5. Again, our factor just tacking on a half second. He has put the foot he just put the foot to the throat of everyone in this race and just not let up. Well, yes, that's because you're in a Renault and he's in a Gen X. I'm not entirely sure what you expected there. It doesn't take a genius to tell you that the Renault is the slowest car in a straight line out of the 3 that are currently racing beside each other. Let's see. As we head up the hill, Dan has seen far too much of this Mazda's rear in this race, that's for certain. Asadov, I will repeat the sentiment. You're in a Renault, they are in a Mazda and a Gen X. I'm not sure what you expected here. They've got, like, 4 or 5 mile an hour in a straight line over you. It's not that close. Oh, look in the last lap, 32.6, 32.4. Another 0.2 of a second tacked on. There's just no stopping our factors right now. Absolutely no stopping our factors right now. Turbo Boy is now having to defend from Chris. It's Bob tapped some time. It won't buy Turbo Boy some time though. Here comes Chris to the inside of 5. Looking to the outside of 6. Will he be ahead? No, he will not. Turbo Boy will stay in front for now. Chris goes a bit deep into 6 and now too shallow out of 6 as well for good measure, and will stick to 7th at the moment. Cullen in 8th right now as well, trying to get himself involved. Carter in 9th, you can see there in the background. Higsy in 10th. Icy's dropped his way to 13th. Must have had a spin in the last lap or two. And you can see, yeah, 142 on lap 17. So he must have span away his race. Wack has not been a good race either. Fancy Lockton Sam is 12th and 11th. Yeah, Carter needs to get on the back of Kellen so he can get involved with the battle in front. Yeah, Turbo Boy is doing a great defensive job on Chris right now. I don't know how much longer this is going to last. It definitely bought his teammate time though. Let's see, as we head in, Chris to the outside of one, and he gets it with a nice little move, a nice little exit. On the exit of one, and then that'll get it done. That'll make it as easy as it gets. Kellen's the next one in line. Kellen in the straight. Will he go for it at 4? That's the real question. Turboy on the inside. Kellen on the outside. No room for a switchback this time. Turboy seemingly learning his lesson from the last time he was overtaken by Kellen earlier on in this race. Turboy now just sticking it to the inside. Every single chance he can get. He's got to be a little bit more aggressive on the defending side. He's been a bit passive so far in this race, and it's cost him a significant number of places. There you go, you've got Carter on the back now as well, so another extremely fast driver to deal with. Kellen goes deep again. Is he going to get a penalty for that? It doesn't look like he will. He'll avoid the penalty there. Playing with fire a little bit there. We head down to... Oh, that... Okay, it's laggy for Chris. I was about to say, that did not look like a smart decision to go on the grass in turn 1. Everything's still as it was here at the front. Let's see, 32.5 for Rossi's actually started to pick up the pace, down to 32.4. They actually both gained, even if it is slightly on our facet on the last lap. It is starting to head the other way. The only issue is they've got probably about 10 seconds to catch, and they've got 5 laps to do it. So if they're going to do it, they're going to have to pick up some pace to do it. I don't really see a way our facet loses this from here. And that's coming from me, the person who only knows how to lose from this position. But yeah, so Ross is still hanging out in second at the moment, then in third after that. Not really got anything going behind these two. Needs to figure something out. Tap in 5th, has got all the time in the world for Chris right now in 6th. Then Turboy in 7th, Kellen 8th, Carter in 9th. Turboy might get a breather because Carter's going to go after Kellen before Kellen gets to go after Turboy. Still going on here. Carter's got the faster car in a straight line, but isn't going to be able to do anything about it here. Kellen going a bit deep. Kellen going very deep out of 2, and that will open the door for Carter on the outside. They're side by side heading down towards 4. And it looks like Carter's not even going to need the turn. Carter's got ahead by the time we even hit turn 4. And Carter's up in 8th. Turbo Boy is the next one in line, if he can get himself up there. Carter might be looking potentially at a top 5 if he can get the lap times in. Still, the battle for second place there, as they were before, and there really isn't anywhere to get involved here. Arcelor has the best tyres on the front, but the worst on the rears. So we'll wait and see how it's going to shape out. 32.8 on the last lap, 32.5 for our factor. So anything Ross gained back on lap 20 is gone on 21. So Once again, they're running out of time to make any sort of dent here into our factored lead. Ross 33-0. 32-9 and then a 32-9 on either side of him. More time lost and Dender's got him! Dender's got him! It happened! It finally happened! It took 23 laps, but I think Dender's got him! Oh, Ross has gone too deep! Far too deep! Yep, it happened. Ross made the mistake, unforced error. And Dender will go by. Nope, and almost came up with an unforced error of his own there. It almost went too deep. He will get away with that though, same with Ross behind. And you got Renault there as well. Just the third man in a train is never where you want to be. It is a position where... yeah, it's just simply a position where no one is gonna make anything happen. You just gotta hope the two in front of you start messing up, and that might open the door that you can potentially get out of this third place in the train, and then you can do something from there. Would expect Dens to start. Oh, if he doesn't slide his car there, would expect Dens to start opening up a gap to Ross and start to dent our factored lead. Albeit it is certainly too little too late by now. Yeah, Den's 33-0 there, Ross 34-0. Awful lap there by Ross. Entire second slower, and again, it is closing in on our factored, but not by anything meaningful. And that's realistically what it's been for the entirety of this race. If they have closed in on a lap, it's not been anything meaningful, and if they haven't, it's been between 2 and 5 tenths a lap that our factored tacked on. So there was no real way of catching him here. Astrodon might have an opportunity sooner rather than later. Here also Carter is starting to catch up to Turbo Boy with a couple of laps left on the clock. Hickley in 10th, Sam in 11th, Fancy Locks in 12th, Icy in 13th. Whack is just all over the place at the back. That might still be a potential podium, a potential top 10, sorry, not podium. Potential top 10 here for Sam if he can get Higgsy. Higgsy's on significantly worse tyres than him right now, especially on the rears. Would expect Sam to have significantly better turning than that McLaren at this point with 2.5 laps to go. Turbo Boy has significantly better the tyres than Carter, but Carter is doing a little bit of a charge at the moment. As they do hit 2 laps to go, our factor's already through turn 1, comfortably in the lead still. Chris and Taff in the fog in the background of the picture there. As they head through turn 1. Oh, Keller going a bit deep there as he entered shot. And yeah, he's just gone very wide, trying to do his best Lando Norris impression in turn 1 there. He is getting closed in. So is Turbo Boy for good measure. Astrodor still not able to do anything in the fight for the podium here. Den's also not really been able to get away from Ross in this race up to this point. As we go through, Astrodor is still trying something. You can see that Astrodor has been sat here for a long time waiting for something to happen. He's got to force something to happen now. Quite frankly, this race has got into a little bit of a meandering stage. Everyone's just kind of as they were. Carter is definitely a lot closer to Turbo Boy than he was prior. There might be something out of that in the last lap. We're heading on to lap 26 and 26 here, and the fact that it gets so dark in Brazil makes me really sad that it cannot rain. Also, Higgsy is going after Kellen. Kellen might have an outside the top 10 finish here if he's not careful. He's got no tyres left as well, for good measure. He's got to get through the last lap here. Fantalog's Icy and Whack at the back. Asador still right on the back of Ross and still not getting anything to go with it. It doesn't look like anything's going to happen. And with that being said, I think we can just label this as one word, and I think that word would be dominant. And quite frankly, since lap 1 when he got Turbo Boy, no one's even been close to him. No one's even laid a finger on our Faxon. He's done the entire 26 laps unchallenged, untouched, unfazed, and unbeatable here in Brazil. What a race that is from our Faxon to win the final race of the season. Absolutely cruise control to the line. Denzel gets second. Russell gets third. Asador will unfortunately have to settle for the first non-podium spot. Taff will get fifth. Chris will get sixth. Turbo Boy will just about beat out Carter in the end. Higgsy will actually got Kellen there. Get ninth. Kellen's going to hang on to 10th with Sam in 11th. Fancy. And there you go, we've got Fancy Lock to the line, Icy with a penalty in 13th, and the Whack is going to be the last one. There you go, Whack is going to be last to the line. Dens is your championship winner, but we knew that at the start of the day. The Lexus drivers have won the Constructors' Championship with our Faxon's win here. And there you go. That wraps everything up. Just a nice little something to get us in the mood for the new season. By wrapping up the end of the last season. Well, it was a good race. I thought I was probably going to be more annoyed with his feature than he was his sprint after winning the sprint pretty much on phase in our Faxon. Well, if he could continue that, kind of form this season, when he does race because he's a reserve, he is going to be a force to be reckoned with in Tier 2. But until then, I will see you guys in a bit. I'm doing Tier 4 next season. So I'll see you guys in Season 16.